It's The State Show with Jeff Mavros, and here's your host, Jeff Mavros.
Hey everybody, welcome to The State Show with Jeff Mavros. I'm your host, Jeff Mavros. I am the Director of Admissions here at Illinois State, and you know, come to think of it, it's February. We've aired about 6 of these episodes already, and I am still the Director of Admissions here at Illinois State, which means the crew owes me $20. Thank you. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I am the Director of Admissions, and we are closing in on the time of year when students make decisions about college for the coming fall. And among the most important factors in this decision for many students is where they're going to live and what they're going to eat. Sounds like the right priorities to me. How about you, Reg? Where's Reggie?
Oh, they're all out at that Battle of the Fake Bands thing.
Battle of the Fake Bands. Okay, I got an idea. Let's cut this.
All right, here we go again. It's The State Show with your friend, Jeff Mavros, and here's your host, Jeff Mavros.
Hey everybody, welcome to The State Show with Jeff Mavros. I'm your host, Jeff Mavros. I am the Director of Admissions here at Illinois State, and come to think of it, it's February. We've aired about 6 of these shows or so, and I'm still Director of Admissions here at Illinois State, which means the crew owes me $20.
Hey, wait, you still already have my other...
The crew owes me, thank you. The crew, thank you. So back at it, I am the Director of Admissions. We are closing in on the time of year when students make decisions about college for the coming fall. And among the most important factors in this decision for many students is where they're going to live and what they're going to eat. Sounds like the right priorities to me. How about you, Reg? Great. That's what I thought you'd say, buddy. So that's what we're going to talk about today, friends. Housing and dining at Illinois State. And to do so, we've asked 2 of our really good friends from here on campus to join us and give us the deets. Well, not the deets, like, oh, you Redbirds, but the, you know what I mean. So before I get into any more trouble, let's pass it to Reggie, who is flying solo today. Awesome job, Reggie. You look great today, sounded great, I thought, and even without the rest of the band, frankly. So I heard, by the way, that they're out Valentine's Day shopping for me. That's so sweet. Okay, friends. The college experience means many things, and certainly the pursuit of knowledge, the broadening of one's perspective, and ultimately the preparation for a productive and successful life as a member of civil society are high on the list. But let's be honest, a student spends years of their life on the campus of their choosing, some of the best years if they've chosen well, and simply put, their happiness during that time matters a great deal. Research suggests that happiness and a feeling of belonging lead to better student outcomes, which stands to reason. And a student can't get to this happy place without, at minimum, having their basic needs met. And I'm talking necessities, food, shelter, etc. In fact, we could take this all the way back to my boy Tony Maslow and his hierarchy of needs. Tony? Craig Maslow? Chuck? Bill, okay, doesn't matter. What matters is this. Maslow says, in order to achieve one's full potential, they must have their more elemental needs met at each level of the hierarchy. And you can see that the most fundamental of these are physiological needs and safety. In essence, a warm place to sleep and some food in their belly. Luckily for Illinois State students, we go way beyond providing just the basics here on campus. And here to tell us oh so much more are 2 good friends of mine, Ed Campbell from University Housing and Desiree Yaw from Event Management, Dining, and Hospitality.
I don't know if we're in the right place.
Hey, thank you guys
There you are.
so much for being on the show. I appreciate you making yourselves at home.
Yes, so happy to be here.
Why don't we start with you guys quickly telling us about your roles. Ed, you first.
Sure. I'm the Assistant Director for Marketing and Assessment for University Housing.
And I'm Desiree Yaw. I'm a registered dietitian with Event Management, Dining, and Hospitality, or EMDH for short.
Yeah, thank you for saying EMDH. I didn't want to attempt to recite that full name again. So let's talk about what you guys actually do on campus. Maybe Ed, let's start with you. Do all students live in university housing?
It's a good question. We do require students to live in university housing their first 2 years out of high school. So typically, most freshmen can expect to live in a traditional residence hall during year 1. Then come year 2, Cardinal Court becomes available to sophomores, and it's a pretty popular option because of its apartment-styled living.
Okay, and transfers?
Well, yes, we do have some transfers living on campus, again, depending on how long they've been out of high school. But typically, transfers can expect to live in off-campus housing like an area apartment. And there are so many right within walking distance of campus.
Okay, great. Desiree, do all students eat in the dining centers?
Many do, but not all. So as far as meal plans go, students who live on campus in the residence halls, they are required to have a meal plan. And students who live off campus or at Cardinal Court, they can purchase one if they'd like.
Do a lot of students still choose to eat on campus?
Yes, many do. We usually have anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 students who live off campus or at Cardinal Court who choose to purchase a meal plan voluntarily.
Excellent. The food must be all right. Ed, back to you. How many residence halls are there on campus?
We have 3 main residence hall areas, or campus neighborhoods, if you will. The first is Watterson Towers, the second is Tri-Towers, and the third is Hewitt-Manchester. And so Hewitt-Manchester features our themed living learning floors, which means students can live on the floor with others that have the same major or interest as them. We also have Tri-Towers, which is popular because it's close to all of our athletic venues, and it has an amazing and vibrant dining center. Lastly, the splendor of Watterson is that it is one of the tallest residence halls in the world, which I think is pretty cool. And all of them are a convenient few minutes walk to all of our classroom buildings and quad.
Well, that's convenient, especially for a school as big as Illinois State, as a 20,000 plus. You know, I was talking about the basic necessities earlier, Ed, but you guys provide a whole heck of a lot more than that, it sounds like. Can you talk to us a little bit about the services you offer?
So every residence hall has a front desk, and it's open 24/7, which means there will always be someone there to help our students. Students can rent out equipment or get games, get mail or packages, get a spare key if they get locked out of their room. And we also have a great public transportation system. We have a Redbird Express that stops every 10 minutes around every residence hall, which is awesome. And our laundry is lit because not only is there laundry included in every building, but students don't have to bring a bag of quarters or swipe a card to use the machines. You just start them and wash and dry to your heart's content. It's pretty awesome. And we take our security very seriously. We have staff that check keys and IDs before students enter the building. Our buildings are locked 24/7, so students will actually need an ID card to swipe into the building. And then once they're in, we have our staff check their keys to make sure they actually live there. And we have other staff that contribute to security as well. We have a resident assistant on every floor, which is a student leader that helps to build community, enforce policies, and be an informational resource. We also have full-time professional staff members living in every residence hall. So the students got it made. If my apartment complex had all these bells and whistles, I'd never leave.
Ed, the folks at home don't quite know this, but you know my family and me pretty well. You know I'm home with my wife and 3 kids and 2 dogs. Any chance you can squeeze me into the halls?
It is an awesome deal. Hey, bet. I got you, Jeff. Talk to me after the show.
Deal. Desiree, back to you. People are particular about their food, right? I mean, what they eat, where they eat, when they eat. Can you talk to us a little bit about the options that students have on campus?
Sure. So as far as meal plans for students who live on campus go, there's 4 different types they can choose from. There's 2 unlimited access plans, and then there's 2 traditional plans where a student would get 14 or 19 meals per week. Each one of those plans also comes with flex dollars, which are basically just dollars that can be spent at the vending machines or any of our various retail locations around campus. So that's things like the Starbucks, Subways, Qdoba, McAllister's Deli, The Landing, Timber's Grill, and there's even more if you can believe that. So lots of places to eat around campus. But when it comes to the actual dining centers, both dining centers have some things in common. So our staple venues are Homestyle, where we serve those comfort classics, Salad Bar, of course, Deli Bar, the Grill, but each location also has some unique offerings. So Marketplace at Lincoln Center has the wood-fired pizza and a Mongolian grill, whereas Watterson Dining Commons has got a build-your-own Tex-Mex station. They've got our signature healthy venue, which is super close to my heart, called Fresh Bites. And there's also a station there called Gluten-Friendly Flavors, and that's just a station we created to provide a higher level of assurance for students who have certain dietary needs and other, things like food allergies, that sort of thing. But we know that when it comes to meeting students' needs, not one size fits all. So I do end up working with several students each semester just to develop an individualized plan just for them to make sure that we are ready to go and ready to meet their needs when they come here. Some students choose to self-navigate the dining center, so they can use our website where we've got ingredient information, allergen information, and full nutrition information. And at the end of the day, we always say, head to our website because that's where all things dining can be found.
Okay, so that gluten-free station sounds amazing. Are there other options though for students that have other dietary restrictions?
Sure, so our gluten-friendly flavors venue, it does encompass a little bit more than just students who might be looking to avoid gluten. We also have removed the top 8 most common allergens from that venue as well. But if students want a little bit more flexibility or maybe just want to self-navigate the dining center themselves, they can head to our website. That's where all things dining can be found, including our menu website called Net Nutrition. It lists full ingredient information, allergen information, and full nutrition facts panel. So any information they need can be found on our website.
Wow. I'm going to pretend, as I so often do on the show, that I knew none of that and just say I'm impressed. So in the time that we have left, will you guys both walk us through a process that a new Redbird needs to take in order to set themselves up for housing and dining?
Sure. So it all starts with a website within a website called the Housing and Dining Portal. So in here, students can sign contracts to live on campus, indicate any living preferences they may have, and complete their own student profile page for other students to view. Now, important date, if students sign their contract by May 1st, then we'll email them over the summer with a date that they can go into the portal and select their own room and roommate. And the roommate matching feature is kind of like Match.com or like a Tinder without the addictive swiping feature. And so in there, students can view other student profiles, link up, and choose a room together. And it's that simple. Now, if the students don't sign their contracts by May 1st, that's okay too. It just means that we get to play matchmaker. And so we usually aim for a 70% match rate between student profiles. And we've been at this for a long time, so there's a good chance that they'll like each other. And you can also select your meal plan in the portal.
That's right. So once you're in that portal, all you'd have to do is go to the Manage Housing and Dining section, click Dining from the drop-down, and then it'll take you to a page where it lists all of the meal plans that are available to you. You select the one you want, and then you sign your meal plan contract right then and there. It's a pretty simple and easy process. And I guess one new feature we're very excited about, you can now tell us about any kind of dietary restrictions or preferences like vegan, vegetarian, that sort of thing, that you have right in the portal after you finish signing your meal plan contract.
Well, this has been a slice of, Desiree, shall we say, sugar-free, vegan angel food cake? Is there anything else that we should know?
I think students and families should know that we're committed to the health and safety of our students. Now, Jeff, this has always been at the top of our priority list, but it's even more highly visible this year with the many safeguards that we have in place to mitigate the risk of COVID-19. And we have thousands of students living with us and dining with us, and we continue to serve them and prioritize their well-being.
That's exactly right, Ed. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think the only thing I'd add is that if anyone's interested in learning the most up-to-date information, head to our website at dining.illinoisstate.edu.
Yeah, all that is actually really important. I'm glad you guys thought to mention it. Thank you.
Oh, before we go, I've got a question for Reggie. Can I get that recipe for your birdseed mix? I hear it's delicious.
Come on, Jeff, you can do this. Okay, it's time for our Redbird shot.
Actually, Jeff, I have a question for Reggie as well.
Oh, come on, man. Unfortunately, we don't have time for another question for Reggie, but would one of you guys be so kind as to do the Redbird shout out?
Sure, I got you, Jeff. Today's future Redbird shout out is for Max B from Chicago for being a newest member of our incoming class of Redbirds. Congratulations, Max. We'll be sending you some ISU swag in the mail, and we can't wait to help you make Illinois State your new home.
Thank you guys. Ed Campbell and Desiree Yaw, everybody. Sadly, we're just about out of time, and Reggie seems in no mood to play any more music. So pull out your notes and let's check your work. As I stated very clearly before, Abraham Maslow's seminal work on psychological health outlines the path to self-actualization via the fulfillment of innate human needs. Put another way, a student's priority is adequate food and shelter. Provided they have those, they can concern themselves with their safety, then their need for belonging, and so on and so forth, all the way to self-actualization, AKA the happy graduate. So you're not getting to that without this. With the housing and dining process beginning in the weeks ahead, I wish you all the best of luck in making your selections and taking another step closer to college life. Thanks for watching, and join us next time when we'll talk financial aid with my guest, Dave Krieger. Until then, be good, everybody, and go Birds.